Hey guys, Rapido Vic here. Hey, will this garbage ever run again? Yeah, well. Y'all done? Quick. Well, you gonna get it. You know what happens when you get a puppy that messes with an older dog? They get tired of it and they handle it. Well, that's what's fixing to happen. She's fixing to handle it. This is my antique, vintage, however you want to call it. Bought it like 0304. Sportworks Mayhem. Thing is, it's kind of really used, but it's kind of brand new. After I went through and basically replaced everything brand new. And I got enough I got enough new parts. I got enough used parts that I took off when I rebuilt it, moved it, and did it, and all that good stuff. To actually rebuild it a few times. This is basically a Mach 26, but ended up being see, it's M26. This is a Mach 26 replacement engine I bought because it's a how about that? Same engine. Look at that, 26 Mach. That's for the focus. That's kind of the Sportworks logo. You can barely see it, but you can see Sportworks 26. As you can see, it's a Mach 26. This is the original engine to this car. Yeah, I run it quite a bit. Pulled this one off. My wife and I ran we beat the brakes off of it and ended up putting a 28 on there, running that thing until it died. I think I ran 8 to 10 gallons of fuel through it. We ran the hell out of it. Well, this one is replacement engine I put on. I put a piston sleeve on it 10, 12, 13-ish years ago, somewhere in there. My grandkids were little. So I ordered a piston sleeve for it because I wore this engine kind of down. So I put a piston sleeve in it. I believe I only ran maybe 4, 5 tanks through it, playing with the kids. So I'm pretty sure this engine might still be good. When I bring it up to the pinch, it stops. It stops. I can't turn it over by hand. Can't get it turned over. So I'm pretty sure the pinch is still good on this motor. Pretty sure this engine is still good. This one I pulled off. I took it and tried to have it professionally tuned because at the time I was brand new. I was green, and they were saying as soon as it warmed up, it lost compression. It still ran good though, but I don't know if they were just trying to sell me a new engine or what they were trying to do. I mean, still. I don't know if you can hear it. As soon as the dog quit growling. That's what I glove plug in it. I left the glove plug tool outside like a dummy. So I can't really pull the glove plugs. But what I am going to do is pull this engine off and open it up and try to look at the pinch. See if the pinch is still pretty good on this engine. Can't run it right this second. I got to buy batteries. But I just wanted to open it up and get a gander. See how it is. See if this engine is still worthy of me even wasting my time with it. Or the good thing is all these engines are Mach 26s, so I can get pistons and sleeves left and right for them. The funny thing is that Sportworks one, the original one came off the car. That thing was actually pretty powerful. It was actually more powerful than the 28 I put on here, which is kind of weird, but it was actually more powerful. This thing wasn't weak. It actually ran really well. Oh man. The only good thing about these old T handles, you just spin it. All right. It's currently missing Bolt. Missing a bolt. Alright. Now, pull this puppy off here and see what we got. You tell me if you think this thing's worthy of even messing with this motor, or should I just get another one? I'm thinking it might still be maybe worthy of running a few gallons, a few tanks to it, see what it does. I do need to buy new batteries and stuff to crank it up and check it out and stuff. I'm playing around tonight. I don't have any parts that I can actually work on my LS3 engine, so I'm messing around with this in the meantime. I have to figure out these sizes here. I'm not used to using these new little gadget toys here. There we go. Pull the set screw out. There we go. Get that up. I'm going to move this off camera. I've been wanting to bring this thing back to life for a long time. I just haven't done it. Life. Alright, there's one. There's two. Okay, let's pull this puppy off of here. I can't remember what size it was. I think it's a teensy one. Yeah, I think it's a really small one. Bad thing, some of this stuff you can't use the long ones for. You got to use the bent Allens. You got no choice. Yeah. Try to turn around a little bit. Maybe I can. Oop. Yeah, let's try the teensy one. Man, it's been some years since I laid my fingers on this thing. It really has. Some of you guys run these things constantly. It's been a long time coming. I even had the short motor mounts for the starter box, and these were actually for the electric starter drill that it came with. It had a one-way bearing in it. It was cool. One thing is, I found out the hard way that if you run it rich and use the roto start, you will pop that one-way bearing, and the one-way bearings are not cheap. The reason why I went and got a starter box. I got tired of popping them, trying to break the engine in. Which a lot of you guys know that. I didn't. I was green. Okay, there we go. Come on. You guys want to stop and lay down? Lay down. Thank you. There she is. All right. And of course I left the pliers outside because I'm stupid. I actually literally just bid on another one of these. Well, not this one. I bid on another one of these, which is pretty much the same, but this has got the head that's been drilled a little bit, kind of machined. I actually like the look of that head. I wish I would have put the people used to take tie straps and tie them through here, through the corners. They would literally just tie them through there, and it give you a little, like a buffer. If you ran it, you flipped it over, it wouldn't damage the head like this. Well, I didn't know that, and mine got worn down. So you can barely see the insignia. By the time I didn't care about nostalgia, it was my first nitro car. So this one actually has sentimental value to me. First one me and my wife went and bought right after we got together, so I've had this thing almost as long as we've been married. Not quite, but close. That's the reason why I don't get rid of it. I got plenty of spare parts to play with, at least for a while. Then. All right, there we go. Got it. There we go. Kind of cool. This came with a Sportworks 053. You know, supposedly it was a tuned pipe for, you know, that motor. I don't know what's the difference. I know there's different ones that run different RPM bands and stuff like that. So I don't know what would be comparable to this. I actually bid it on one of these on eBay. Right now, it's at $16.88 with like $8 and something shipping. So if nobody bids on it any higher, I'm gonna get another engine for $20. $25 with shipping. Works for me. Now this one has a little bit larger head, so it's probably got a little bit better cooling. I'm not sure. Not sure how that works. I mean, they're still Machs. They're still Mach 26s. If you look, they're exactly the same casting. The difference is the head. The extra milling they did on the head here for Sportworks. But I still got the rotor start on here, and this still has a good bearing in it. My rotor start, I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared. So I actually pulled out this Stank 12 volt from Walmart, wannabe Black & Decker. I don't even think it would be as good as the Taiwanese. It's probably like a out in the middle of the woods, we kind of glued it together type thing. And that thing turned over. It turned over just good enough to pop this thing off. It worked. It popped off. It's got 13 tooths on here. There it goes. I had it set up for the track I was running because it had a decent straightaway in the rear. So, you know, you always try to set up your red line right on the back end on your straightaway. I always try to set it to red line just before you get to the end of the straightaway, that's how I was taught. You don't want the red line right off the rip because then you're going to go slow. You set it so it red lines right close to the end of the straightaway. Somehow that ended up having a Phillips in it. So I'm going to have to go dig up a Phillips real quick. I got a box with like 3 million screws out there, so I'm going to have to dig up another one that's just like these. It's like after 10 o'clock here right now. I got to be up at 4:30 a.m., so I'm not trying to stay up too late. I wanted to check this out real quick and show you guys. Maybe I have hope for this motor yet. Engine. I'm hoping I have time not to choke these dogs out. Quit and lay down! Quit! Sorry, guys. I have a puppy. You know how shepherd puppies are. High strung and ready to run. Some people don't like these one-way bearing rotor starts. I kind of do. They're not very good for breaking in an engine for the simple reason that when you're running it rich, trying to start it, the slightest over back pressure, it pops. And then you're dead. You gotta go buy another one, and even back then they were $25 a pop. But let me go get me a small Phillips real quick, get the rest of that off, and I'll finish disassembling this engine. Hold on a sec. Alright, I'm back. Good thing about having a junk drawer with lots and lots of screwdrivers is when you need a Phillips, you're never gonna find one. You need a flathead? Guess what? You're still looking for one. But since I have a junk drawer with lots of little screwdrivers and stuff in it, and in that junk drawer I actually have the other set of these where my wife's for her Traxxas E-Max. Somehow they ended up in my junk drawer. It's not really a junk drawer, it's more like a scattered drawer. Everything's scattered. Nothing in there's junk. I need everything. So it's not really a junk drawer. Junk drawer has mail and stuff in there you just don't need. Okay. There we go. Put that in there. Oh yeah, it still works. Yeah, no. I ain't that strong. Okay. Let's pop this puppy off the back. I can figure these things out. Sorry, it's the first time I've used these new ones. I'm always using these. So they don't fit. And that one probably don't fit. Nope. Gonna be one I haven't used yet. Probably this one. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I actually have, I think, 3 sets of these mounts. I have 2 that are tall mounts for the rotor start, and I have the short ones that are actually designed for the starter box. Now, me being a newbie at the time with my original frame, I thought it'd be a good idea, because I know at the time, let me get this crap out the way. I didn't know it'd be a good thing at the time. This section right here, that's designed for the start box and for the flywheel to go through. I literally took this section, I took an actual, like a burr drill bit, and actually ground this whole section open all the way to like here. Because as I kept trying to put it on the bump box, it was eating my rubber disc on my bump box. So I didn't know. So I ground it open an inch, maybe a little over an inch. Yeah, well, a few heavy jumps, the frame folded. Now, if you look at this frame here, see all the CNC work? This is actually after the Sportworks Mayhem, they came out with the Turmoil, I guess trying to change the name or whatever. But this actually ended up being what they call the Ford Center of Gravity, the FCG. This engine was actually in the Sportworks about this far back. In these, they moved them forward to get a little bit better handling. So they actually moved the center diff and everything. So I literally had to change the drive shafts. I had to change the supports here, brand new frame, brand new chassis and everything, and all these center supports here. And I changed everything out here to Pro. I mean, all this stuff ended up going Pro with the Turmoil Pro, everything. And then, of course, I put the metal diff carriers on, and of course the 5mm shock towers and everything, front and rear. I mean, I worked them over, and that was, that 12, 13 years ago. I started ordering stuff off eBay because it was still plentiful and a lot of it. I literally, probably 90% of this car is brand new. Chassis. I mean, the only thing I had to use these were used. Well, no, one was new, one was used because I broke one. But almost everything on here, except this is my original wing. These are my original shocks. I rebuilt them. And I just found the rebuild kit for all of them. I had ordered a couple of rebuild kits because they're, yeah. But I actually have rebuild kits for them out in my tools out there. And I actually have a lot of these parts I changed on this because I thought they were wore down at the time. They weren't. So they're still in really good shape. I got spare CVDs, front, rear. I was going to change the center drive shafts out to the CVDs they had. Not the cups, but the actual CVDs, where it was a CVD on one side and the dog bone on the other. And I never did order them. Now I do believe I found a set on eBay that I may try to order just because. Now I had another one of these I actually bought on eBay at that same time, whether it was 2011, so it was 13 years ago. But I bought one of these off eBay. There was an auction. I ended up getting it for like $100, the whole car. It came with everything but the motor. It came with everything but the motor, literally. So when I rebuilt this one, I literally did that one too. Ordered 2 chassis, you know, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these. I mean, I had 2 of everything. The parts are still plentiful on eBay. That's what I did. The other one I was going to change to a brushless. I actually ordered the conversion kit that I could turn it brushless. Now, there was a company that actually made the one for the Mayhem and the Turmoil to actually turn it brushless, because brushless was kind of coming on brand new back in the early 2000s. But the company moved out to Arizona, and I don't know what happened with him, because he was actually CNC and all that stuff. But I, at the time, just couldn't afford anything like that, because my wife and I at the time both lost our jobs. We ended up losing our house. We lost everything, but I wasn't able to do it. And by the time I was able to, the gentleman, I guess, lost everything. He closed up. Can't think of the name of it, but he's no longer around. So I actually bought a Universal one. And this thing's still in really good shape. Look at that. So nice and shiny. See a little bit of crustacean on the crank. I try to keep the bolts together for everything I do, since they're different sizes and stuff. So if you actually disassemble something, put your bolts back in. It only takes a second. That way you don't lose it. Some people are OCD as I am, will do that. Other people will throw it in a big old pile and then wonder why stuff don't fit. So we'll put this back on here like this. Take these, put these back in here. Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's plastic. So take everything and set it right here. Good thing is, no more kids in the house. All the kids are gone. I don't have to worry about anybody touching anything. I just gotta worry about the dog bumping the table. Other than that, no big deal. No big deal. All right. Can't tell if that's rust on that crank. If it is, that is rust on that crank, and it's anywhere it shouldn't be. I got another one. It's the crank I pulled out of this engine when I went through it. So I got almost a brand new crank. So if that one's got a little bit of rust on it, don't matter. Does not matter. So let's bust this clutch off of here. Okay. If I can get a hold of it. Wow. Yeah, Loctite. How about that? I actually destroyed one of these aluminum flywheels when I first got it, because I ended up grabbing with a pair of pliers. I didn't know at the time that they actually had the stop that goes in here. I literally got it out in the shed and I didn't bring it in. So there we go. It's actually a stop that screws in and stops the piston. That way you can actually pop this loose without hurting yourself. So let's get this puppy apart. Make a big old mess on the table for my wife, and I'm gonna leave it because 4:30 comes early and I got to get up early. I just want to yank this down, take a quick old look at the piston and sleeve with you guys and see. Is it still decent? Yeah, I kind of stuck that on there, didn't I? on, baby. Work with me. Get off there. Yeah, you can tell I'm a novice. It's been a long time since I even laid my fingers on one of these. Let me get me a little flathead. Alright. Found me a little flathead. Let's pop this little bushing off in here. Well, not bushing, spacer. Okay. Now, why ain't you just coming on? Good thing is I have plenty of spares, if anything. So I was just looking, I got like 5, 6 clutch bells. Oh. Oh. She is on there. Oh, she's coming. She's just taking her time. Come on. Don't need to bleed anymore. I'm not really worried about this flywheel or the clutch bell or anything, because I do have spares in the shed in my box out there, so y'all can scream and yell at me for doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong! What's wrong with you? You're a dumbass. Yes, I know. It's been a long time. Come on, baby. Okay. Yeah, there's times you just want it to come off. And it doesn't want to, because I probably put too much Loctite down in there long ago when I was playing with the kids, because usually it just slides right off. But I'm to the point now, I just really don't care. It's getting late. I just want it to come apart. I guess I got extras out there. I don't care. I'll replace it. Okay. There we go. Got it apart. Yeah, I nicked in a couple little places here. Alright. No biggie. Get the other bearing off. Yeah, left the clutch tool out in the shed, so anyways, we'll work on this puppy here. We'll see about getting head off and checking that piston and rod. Don't worry about the rest of this. I'm not really worried about pulling the crank out. Going to get the piston and sleeve out for tonight. Yes, it's been a minute. Definitely been a minute. Okay. Alright. So, put this puppy down. And really wish this wasn't taking so long. 4:30 comes early. Let me show this to you guys. See if this thing has a possibility in hell of ever running again. long as I didn't completely destroy it with the grandkids years ago when they were young, I think we'll probably be okay. I don't know if that's the right one or not, so let's do this. Yes, I am rusty. Very rusty. Sorry guys, I am super duper rusty. I'm going to try to make this quick so this video is not 10 hours long. But, you know, when I get this thing pulled apart, we'll come back. I tell you the truth, the only good thing about these, you can just stick them in there and go vroom, vroom, vroom. Get in there, you just feel for it. You just spin her. And she just comes right out. Wait a minute. Oh. There it is. Alright. Yeah, it's not going on. All four bolts, there they go. All four bolts are there. Alright, so let's put that there. Get the cam button off. Along with the head gasket. Get the head gasket back on there and lay it off to the side. Here we go. Got a lot of afterrun oil in there. You can actually see the little line there, the pinch point.